Welcome back everyone to our gameplay series of Farming Simulator 19. We're back on the new Woodshire map, and our first couple of videos we were basically working this land. We're cutting the grass, converting that into hay, and then feeding it to our cows. So if we came in and take a look at our cows right now, you can see we don't have a huge amount, but I think this one field is enough for the 100 cows we currently have, and then we'll expand that as time goes on. We've looked at a couple of other areas that have some nice grass that we could pick up in the future as we expand. Water, again, similar situation. I didn't go back and fill this all the way up, but we're certainly in good shape with our cows right now. Cleanliness is fine. Productivity is right at 70%, and our plans are to get that up a little bit higher by adding some straw in the near future. But in order to get straw, we're going to need to determine which field we get next so that we can grow a crop that will give us that much needed straw. So if we come back out and take a look at the map, let's scroll around. So here's where we are currently, toward the bottom of the map. And if we look at what lands we own, you can see that currently we own this small farm area where the pigs and cows are, as well as this one grassy area. So if we take a look at what is available for us, what I'm really looking for is wheat. Barley is also acceptable, but as you take a look, really there's neither of those that is nearby where we are right now, with the exception of field number 11. So field number 11 has wheat on it. I'm also looking up here at field number 1 with currently wheat on it, simply because I'm trying to keep an eye out for what is around the areas where our animals are and some possibilities for the future. And field number 1 looks like it would be very good for oats and probably give us plenty of oats that we would need for our horses. So we'll move into that a little bit later on, but for right now, I think I want to purchase field number 11. Now, the one downside of field 11 right now is that it's not currently ready to harvest. You can see it is still in a darker green, so it's got a little bit of growth left to go before we can actually work that, but that's okay. We've got some other things we want to do real quick here after we purchase field number 11, which is going to cost us $127,056. So we have plenty of money for that. We'll go ahead and buy that. Yes, please. And then, of course, we'll be wanting to purchase all the land around us at some point. But we've got field number 11, so we're in good shape. Now we need to look at what kind of equipment are we going to need for this particular field. So let's come into the storefront, and we're going to need a combine of some sort. So we'll go ahead under harvesters, and let's take a look at, once again, we're not going to be purchasing these. We're going to lease these for right now. So I'm not terribly worried about working with at this particular point. Let's actually go ahead and look at where are we, headers. Let's look at the headers and just see. So we're looking at about 4 meters of working with there, 5. Let's find another one that is good for wheat. That's 7.6. Okay, so that's going to get us up into probably a bit more of a harvester than we're really looking for right now. So the Russell mash will give us 5 meters, which is fairly small, but I think it will do okay for the size fields we have. So we're going to be looking at let's see which harvester is going to line up to that. There we are, the Nova 330. So 105,000, so again, not a huge one. Let's go ahead and double click on that. And no options available, so we're going to go ahead and click lease. So it costs us some money up front, but certainly not anywhere near what it would cost to purchase. All right, so now we need to come back out, go into the headers, and pick up that header. Any color you want, as long as it's red. All right, there we go. So we've got our first couple of pieces of equipment. So let's head over to the store. Let's actually get this picked up and get it back over to field 11, which is where we're going to need it. Not immediately, but we are going to need it over there at some point. So again, we'll see how this works with this size harvester. I prefer a bigger one, but with these size fields, I'm not sure a bigger one is preferable. So we'll find out. We'll take it one step at a time and find out exactly what size will work best for us. And so once again, just like we've seen in the first couple of videos, it does not take us very long to get from the store back to our fields and our farm area. But this guy is running 13 miles an hour, so he is flying down the road right now. Let's see, what's on the billboard over here? This is, can't tell. All right, car, give us a little room. So you can see we've got a grassy field there. Probably not going to be interested in that for a very long time, if ever. Simply because of the shape of it, the downhill and all that. That could cause some issues for the AI, so we're not going to worry about that. We got field 12 here, which is a nice field that we could look at picking up here very soon. A fairly small field compared to some that I'm used to working on some of these other maps. But field 11 should give us, I mean, that's a fairly good sized field, particularly for this map. So let's go ahead and get our harvester parked. Now we're going to need a little bit more as far as equipment. So we'll get this guy over, and at some point we'll figure out exactly where these are going to be parked. But for right now, we're going to put this guy right over here on the edge, and you know, we could go ahead and fertilize this field while it's on this growing stage. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and leave that right there. Okay, we'll come back into our storefront, and while I'm looking at this, let's go ahead. We're looking at fertilizer, and we want, wow, I mean, this modded version is so much cheaper, and so there's really no reason not to go with this one, and because of its price, we'll go ahead and just buy this one. Okay. All right, now we can come back, and let's actually, let's see, well, if we can zoom in on it, there we go. So let's go ahead and reset this particular tractor. We're going to reset it back to the shop so that we can very easily connect up to this thing either on the front or the back. For right now, we'll put it on the rear of the tractor. All right, and I'm going to try to get this guy going on field 11. Now, currently we don't have any fertilizer in there, but the AI, you can set them up to buy the fertilizer that they're using, so we're going to see if that will work even with a completely empty tank. If not, then we'll have to look on the map and figure out where we're going to get some fertilizer. But we're certainly going to hope that the AI can get to work on this field without me having to buy the fertilizer first, because it's going to cost us either way. All right, here we go. The only bad part about some of the fields on this map is that we have to go right across the road in order to turn around, unless these guys are going to attempt otherwise. All right, so now we're going to get into some crop destruction. All right, there we go. Not too much crop destruction. We just had to get him far enough up onto the ground so that it would recognize that we're here. And because it's the AI, there is no crop destruction when we are working with the field. All right, so that's very good. So what else are we going to need for this particular field and in the future? We'll be able to use this equipment obviously on multiple fields. So while this guy is working, And it shouldn't take him too terribly long with such a wide working width. Well, is he going to stop? Is the question. Okay, that is no good. He apparently considered himself to be done. All right, that may be my fault. Let's come in and let's take a look at where he is. Let's see, fertilize. Well, we're not going to be able to tell because it wants us to plow. But I wanted to see if maybe we had already reached max fertilizer, but it does not appear so, as best I can tell. All right, so it is going to make me do a little bit of crop destruction either way. All right, so it looks like we're going to ride along with this guy for just a little bit longer than I had originally expected. You can see the ground getting darker there, so it does appear as though this fertilizer is needed. And we should be fine because we're still in the growing stage. You can see in the top right-hand corner, our money is going down. Let's see what this guy does. Is he going to turn around? He is going to turn around. Okay, so he didn't mess up this time. Okay, so far so good. We'll see what happens when he reaches the other end of the field. Okay, where are we going? Okay, that was interesting. So a few hiccups here and there from the AI so far. But for the most part, we can work with this. Now, if he's not going to recognize the end of the field, that will be a problem. Because if none of the AI recognize this field and the boundaries of it, then... All right, so he comes to the end. He stops. And, okay, this time it looks like he's going to make the turn and get started again. So it was just that first turn he didn't like, for whatever reason. All right, there we go. He's making sure he's getting the entire field. But again, it's not going to take him very long at all with his working width combined with the size field we have. So now let's head back into the storefront, and hopefully this guy will keep going the way he needs to. So now we need to figure out where we go from here. So what do we want next? Because we're going to need, and I think I want to go with a stronger tractor in combination here, and I'll show you why. I am huge. If you've watched any of my previous videos in the playthroughs we've done, you know that I really like the horse seeder. And the reason I like it is because it gives me a good working width, which is always nice. But then it doesn't require us to cultivate before we can continue on. So it's got the cultivation function already as it's sort of included within the game. So for that saves us a step, and I like that idea. Now the downside is it requires a pretty hefty amount of horsepower to run it, 270. So if we, Vonderstad, if we go down just a little bit, this will go down in working width, but it requires only 180 horsepower. And still, no previous cultivating is needed. So I like this. So we're going to use the seed drill. With this model, we need 180 horsepower. So let's go ahead and grab this one. 76,000. Let's go ahead and lease it for now because I don't plan on this being my long-term solution for this. And so now we need to find a tractor. Let's go medium tractors. We're going to need, let's pick out which one we want. The case model, we might be able to upgrade the engine, but let's just go ahead and see what we can get a little farther up. Let's look at this case model. Yeah, this ought to be pretty good. This is more horsepower than we need for now. Okay, I like the original wheels on it. Of course, we're going to put some wheel weights on it. And we don't need to upgrade the engine, but we can get another 20 horsepower out of that one if we needed it. And for right now, once again, we are going to lease this. We're going to save most of our actual funds to purchase property as much as possible. All right, so let's go ahead. Did I actually purchase that? Did I actually get it? Is the question. I don't remember if I hit the buy button or not. So before I do it twice, leased items. Yeah, there we go. So we did get it. So I almost purchased that thing twice. Okay, let's head over. And no front weight on the tractor as of now. I don't think it'll be really that big a deal. All right, so let's get this piece of equipment back to the storefront. So a little bit bigger tractor now than what we've been dealing with. A little bit stronger tractor that will allow us to do more field work with a little bit better equipment. All right, we're going to try to make this pass. Are we going to have enough room? Yes, we are. All right, let's see how the AI is doing. All right, we have a car stopped in the middle of the road. Apparently he was waiting on us. Okay. And the AI is almost done with the field. It's an interesting lane he's got to take for his very final pass. But I'm just going to, for right now, assume. Nope. I was going to assume that was him was doing everything right. But it certainly does not appear as though that's the case. So a very interesting first opportunity to fertilize. This guy, who knows how much of this field he actually got fertilized. So we'll hope for better in the future. Right now, let's head back over to the storefront. Be sure to stay off the crops. We'll actually, instead of resetting, we'll actually drive it back over this time. All right, so what else are we going to need? We're going to need some additional equipment. We're not quite done yet. We're going to need, we've got already got our fertilizer, and hopefully that fertilizer will work with the AI. And now we've also got our seeder. So we're almost there, at least for right now. So what do we need next? Well, let's pop back into the store, and we need a trailer. And we don't need a huge trailer. Let's actually come in. I want to see out of our, let's just go to the garage. That'd be the easiest way. What is our capacity? 4,500. Okay, so that'll be good. 4,500 isn't all that much, so we can get by with a smaller trailer. So there's 14,000. I mean, that's already way more than what we need. Any of these actually will be perfectly fine. I didn't realize even the base model has 12,000 available to it. So that's not bad. That'll give us easily a couple of trips around with the combine before it gets full. So for right now, I think we're just going to stick with this one. All right, capacity. Okay, now we're looking at capacity 4,000, 8,000, or 12,000. I think 8,000 is where we want to be right now. Of course, we don't want 4,000. That's not enough. If we do 8,000, then that's going to be how much money? 10,000. And if we go here, I don't really like that connection as much. That's 8,500 for 10,000. And then 14,000 for 19,000. So 14,000 liters. All right, so for right now, I think I'm going to just go with the HW80. The design color, okay, I'm all right with the blue tarp. And what do we have here? I don't like that. That's 4,000. Seriously? $2,000 extra for blue. How about we just go with green and not spend any of that money? So $8,500, let's go ahead and buy that. So this will give us a way to unload the combine without having to drive the combine over and try to empty it directly. that probably would not work out too well. All right, there we go. So now we'll get the tipper back over. All right, so now we've accomplished actually quite a bit in today's video. We didn't actually get to do any of the field work. We're not going to count the fertilizing that was done as part of the field work because I'm just not sure how efficient or effective that was. But we did pick up some additional equipment that I think is really going to come in handy as we expand the number of fields. Now we have a tipper, we have a fertilizer, and we have a seeder. So some really basic equipment that we're going to need going forward, and we were able to pick that up and still leave ourselves $459, almost $460,000. So quite a productive day. We purchased a field, got a lot of equipment that we're going to need. That'll do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned as we will continue our gameplay series of Farming Simulator 19.